I think it's cute.
Your laugh is horrible.
It's not that bad. It's just distinct.
Everybody know what the fuck that is.
It's like, oh, Jasmine.
Oh my God. Anyway, man. Yeah. Cheer. What up, man? Jackson 1616 back in Atlanta. Creator and host of One Mic Stand. Also 130 Sexy Stranger. Shout out to Seeing Juice. What up? Fruit Duck is popping. We back, man. Of course, I got more special guests. I got another fucking time talking to my Atlanta co-host and everything like that. I'm about to be yelling all fucking night. There's something wrong with my mic, but I don't care. We're gonna get through it. I ain't gonna do most of the talking anyway. We got an interesting topic tonight, man. But before I get into that, I'm gonna let these two people introduce who they are. Go ahead.
I'm traumatized right now.
What you mean?
This is yelling so loud. Anyway, what up, y'all? You already know who I am. But if you don't, it's your first time tuning in. I am Courtney Levette. I am on Bars and Beyond, so make sure you guys go check that out. Each and every Tuesday, if you have Roku TV, we're streaming there on the Producers Network, so check it out. And of course, follow me on the gram at Courtney Levette, LAVETTE_. Yeah, and so this is a really special guest, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to let you do your whole spiel here. Let them know who you are.
Yeah, well, I'm not, I don't have like a, yeah, so I don't have like a, I don't know, a radio station or a podcast to put out there, but I'm J Rose specifically. Follow me on Twitter, J__Rhodes. It's the same for Instagram, and yeah, shout out to North Carolina.
Alright, that was a good for a nigga who don't create content, nigga, that shit was pretty smooth as an intro. Yeah. You feel me? But nah, man, we talked a little bit before we started rolling or whatever. So what we're gonna talk about today is, so I did an episode back in the summer, if I'm not mistaken, and the topic was, what was the topic? Niggas, I'm probably about to butcher this shit, but and I did it. It's crazy. Niggas deal with trauma, or men deal with trauma by trying to get rich, and that was one of the episodes that I did. And I think the reason that I did it is because I saw some shit. You know what I'm saying, just kind of floating around the internet, floating around social media and everything like that. And anytime any of my like subscribers or people who listen to me or fuck with me, anytime they see some shit that they think is gonna either trigger me or that they think is like a good talking piece for me to talk about to trigger other people, like they always flood my inbox with that shit. And that was one of the things that they sent me. And I got it and I thought about it and I was like, I was like, how can I turn this into a good conversation or whatever, into some dialogue. And, you know, did an episode about it. I felt like it was a pretty good episode. I feel like I got some good feedback off of it. And then months later, you hit me up about it. And tell me why you hit me up about it.
Yeah, so I hit you up about it specifically. And the tweet was, black men deal with trauma by trying to get rich. And I watched like your prelude, so to speak, to the Patreon. And like I bought the Patreon, still subscribe by the way.
Thank you.
For sure. You know what I'm saying? Support black businesses.
Indeed.
But I watched it and like your content was like spot on for real. You know what I'm saying? Like you took like a lot of concepts, so to speak, that I was internalizing within like that broad tweet. And like
wait, because you didn't actually say that. So you're the person who actually tweeted.
Yeah.
The originator of the tweet.
Yeah.
Yourself. Okay.
Yeah. And so like you touched on like so many different topics that like you just unpacked on it, and I just wanted to come up here first and foremost, man, to pay homage, you know what I'm saying? Because you really did do your thing with it. But also
you such
for real.
Let me collect my flowers.
I'm gonna let you get
on.
Yeah.
Bro, like,
I'm gonna let you get on.
honestly though, all jokes aside though, like black people don't really do this enough. Like, so, and black people don't compliment each other enough, and then niggas don't know how to take compliments.
I think black men don't do it enough.
Yeah.
I think black men don't do it enough.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah.
But get your flowers. Go ahead. Yeah. You paying homage. Go ahead. Don't mind me. I'm just here.
I'm just here. You the centerpiece.
I'm the flower, nigga.
No cap.
No, but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Nah, you doing your thing, Court. But yeah, I just wanted to come up here, like I said, and just unpack with you on the topic. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's so much deeper than what it was that you were just talking about too. So, you know what I'm saying? It's always good to get some more perspective on on some shit that could kind of help us as an overall conglomerate. You feel me?
Indeed. This nigga come on.
He's a conglomerate. So can I ask you what prompted you to send out that tweet, or what was that?
Okay, so really, the tweet is really talking about myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really came from a point of self-reflection. Like, I could really recall, like, being in the bed. I was in D.C., and I was waiting on my cousin, who was about to go to brunch and whatnot. And, like, I was just listening to some music, some trauma music, some trauma.
Set the scene for us.
Some trauma music, you know what I'm saying? I'm listening to some Meek. I got Hove playing, I got Future playing, and they all talking about the same thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Future talking about, you know, Sierra's situation from the Monster mixtape. And all he talking about is, you know, fuck the bitch, I'm gonna get over, I'm gonna go fuck some bitches, and I'm gonna get some paper. You feel me? Listen to Meek, you know what I'm saying? He got a whole song called Trauma, you know what I'm saying? And that whole song really touched me when it really came out, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, Meek's situation is what it is. If you ever, I mean, you from Philly, so you know.
Well, I'm not from, I live there, but yeah.
When I say from Philly, I mean like, you know.
Yeah. But people,
a resident.
People from, I gotta say that because niggas from Philly is like, that nigga ain't from, that ball, that ain't no Philly ball. but yeah, I live there.
But yeah, and then, you know, whole situation is what it is. And like I said, I was really talking from a place of self-reflection, and I ain't think nothing of it, you know. Like, I just was like, damn, this is kind of like a common denominator. Like, black men, this is how we cope with, you know, bottling our feelings up, rather than like going to express it to the people who hurt us or whatever. However, this is how we deal with, you know, our shortcomings, you know what I'm saying? And so I sent it out, and shit, man, that shit did what it did. That shit did what it did.
Yeah, what was your, because you said you was listening to songs that was talking about it, but what made it like actually resonate with you on a personal level?
So on a personal level, I mean, we all go through like, life happens to all of us, you know what I'm saying? And life gonna happen to you regardless of like whatever your creed is, whatever background you come from, you know. And when I was just thinking about myself, you know what I'm saying, like situations I've had with women, yes, you. Situations I've had with women, situations I've had with friends, you know, male and or female, family members, you know what I'm saying? It's always just like that common denominator. Like, regardless of what the situation is, this is how we deal with, you know what I'm saying, said negative situation. You know what I mean?
What's your, as a woman, right, Courtney,
Mm-hmm.
how do you feel about this whole conversation, like from a woman's perspective, on dealing with men who may have trauma and dealing with seeing how men deal with their trauma from their point of view?
I think the way men have taken their traumas and expressed it through music, I think that's a lot of ways, and listening to music or whatever, instead of going, because especially within the black community, it's like we don't go to therapy. Like, that's something that we've just over time been told, you don't do that, your business stays at home, you don't go out and discuss it. And I'm a huge proponent of going to therapy because it is necessary, because we all have been through trauma. But I feel like whatever way you can get it out, I applaud it, because for you, that was, you got through it, you got over it, and you got it off your chest, and then it's helping somebody else. Like, I can relate to this, like, somebody hears me, somebody can see me, and I think that's probably how, you know, this whole interaction happened, because, like, dang, he feel me, he see me. It's like, even having these small conversations, you know, it's gonna push the conversation forward. And so maybe more men will come forward and like, yo, bro, you know, X, Y, and Z happened. But on the flip side of that, you have to deal and date these men who have trauma. And it's like, okay, I'm still trying to unpack my own trauma, and now I have to come into a relationship with you, and you have not dealt with your trauma, or you don't know how to deal with your trauma. I think that part is probably the hardest thing, because I work on myself every day. And so I feel like we're just now getting to a point where black men are opening up about whatever traumas that they have. So I think it's just one of those things that's going to have to catch up. but I do see it moving, and it's important to talk about the trauma because it's like, it's only so, because what about the people who don't listen to rap or who aren't rappers or who aren't artistic to get it out? Because now that's going with the suicide, because what, black men have the highest suicide rates. Yeah. So it's just like, what other ways can we get them to open up or get you guys to open up and talk about it? So.
Yeah, if I could kind of like remember back or harken back to like the episode itself, if I'm not mistaken, I think that I didn't necessarily, I agreed with the comment, if I remember correctly. I agreed with it, but I think more so my episode was about why that is. And I believe I kind of went into, it all boils down to like, bitches love niggas with money.
Period.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And
niggas love niggas with money.
That too. Yeah. Like, money is just a thing that people seem to respect, or they covet it, or they admire it, or they envy it, or just...
Well, I think it's a power thing. Mm-hmm. The more money you have, the more powerful you can be in any situation. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think black men in general have had that power stripped from them. So the one thing that you can't take from me is this money that I can go out and hustle and make money 15,000 ways. Like, you quit your job, you know what I mean? And, you know, you every other state all the time. And not to say, like, you know, you out here, he got money, but like, not to say he got money. But it's just like,
I know what you mean, though.
That's something can't nobody take from you. Like, I built this, and if you take it, I can build it back up. And it's so, you know what I mean? So I think it's more like that power, like, yeah, sure, you can cheat on me, but I got this money though.
But like the tone that you said that in made it seem like it's a positive thing. And I'm not saying that it's not, but I feel like the tone that you tweeted it in was like not so much of a positive thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? This was my interpretation of it was black men deal with trauma by trying to get rich. My interpretation was like, but we should be dealing with it another way. Is that true? Is that not true? Or like, what, like, yeah, like.
Nah, so like I said, like when I sent it, like I ain't think nothing of it. Like it was like an observation from listening to the music, resonating with the music, and then just like putting my thought on my phone. You follow me? So it wasn't like me saying like, yo, this is like, nah. If that's how you deal with your traumas, like I'm all for, you know, like running up a bag, but also take care of like your mental health too. You know what I'm saying? Like run up a bag and then go back, double back and get you a quality therapist though. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you can resolve whatever, because, you know, you pass on traumas, you know what I'm saying? Generationally, you know what I'm saying? There are traumas that all, like everybody in this room, there's traumas that we all face that stem back to like our great-grandparents, you follow me? And we don't even know it, you know what I mean? And a lot of that can be alleviated, one, with the bag, secondly, with professional help, you know what I mean? But you just got to put yourself in that space to be vulnerable enough to, one, admit it, and two, just tackle it head on, you know what I'm saying? But if that's your way of coping with whatever, like, yeah, definitely do that, you know what I'm saying? Because you need the bag. Don't get it twisted, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, run it up.
I think if I'm not mistaken again, I think I was saying that too, because like getting like it's not a bad thing to go through something traumatic or go through something hurtful or go through something painful and then channel all of your your anger into something positive, because making money is positive.
Yeah.
It's, you know,
because it's not even if it's legal, because if your mental isn't all the way together and 100%, like you can get this money and now you running off. Like you out here being a hoe, or you out here being frivolous with stuff and you getting reckless. So it's kind of twofold, because yeah, you hurt me, hurt people.
Yeah, that's
so just
fact.
Because I got money doesn't
like
now
people go around shitting on people.
Right, like, well, I got this money, so bitch, fuck you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so I think it's kind of twofold with that. Like,
yeah,
it is twofold, but it's kind of funny though, because like, and I've been trying to not do this, but
he's gonna do it.
We're gonna do it.
I feel like, you know, 'cause, like, I feel like in our culture, right? Like, the only reason I put a lot on women is because I only date women.
Yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying? But I kind of feel like we kind of have, and when I say we, I mean men and women, we kind of are responsible for each other in a lot of ways. And what I mean by that is, if the thing that was important to women was niggas who are mentally stable, then maybe niggas would go after being mentally stable.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? No, I'm listening.
I'm processing.
And I want to use my words carefully because I'm not trying to place blame on women. I'm just saying imagine the world being a little different where, because the question would be, right, why is it that niggas are so hell-bent on getting a bag? Why? You know what I'm saying? Like, because you feel like getting money is going to put you in certain positions to where, maybe you can get nice things, maybe you can live here, drive this, whatever. But why you want the nice things?
I'm about to say, everything we do is to impress, like, each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, women are the cause and men are the effect of things. And so, like, Courtney, you like nice things? And I'm just using you as an example because you're right here.
Yes, I do. For anybody that wants to date me, yes, I do.
No cap.
Just, if you would like to date me, I do like nice things.
Yeah, so Courtney like nice things. And so, I can't just be a nice dude, right? Like, I can approach you and be a nice dude, but if I ain't got no coin, ain't got no bag, like, I might as well not even approach, you know what I'm saying? Because it's going to waste my time and hers, you know what I'm saying? And truth be told, we don't talk about this enough, but a woman denying a man, like rejecting a man, not choosing him, that's a traumatizing thing, you know what I'm saying? Because, dude, it is. I'm going to keep it 1,000.
Hold on, let me circle back.
I mean, I don't experience that too often, but it is for real, yeah. Keeping it 1,000.
Just you.
Out the building.
I want to circle back and correct. Like, yes, I like nice things, but it doesn't have to be, you don't have money, so I can't fuck with you, or you can't get me nice things, because we can get a bag together. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's a totally different. Like, you come with your own shit, but I'm not asking you to go buy me nice things. I just buy my shit myself.
But you can't speak for everybody when you say that.
No, I'm just, because I said I like nice things, so I wanted to, if you want to date me, like, we can get a bag together.
Facts. Because I'm at the Westin. Look, I'm at the Westin, yo, and I'm to my niggas pulling up back-to-back Cullinan trucks. Mm-hmm. And, you know, them girls is over there, you feel me? They like 10, 20 deep over there, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that don't resonate with every female, yo.
No, absolutely not. And I totally agree, like, but I feel like we can't be the cause of y'all's you not dealing with your own trauma. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, we could not want to date somebody, but that's not my fault. Like, you can't take that so personally. Like, oh my God, she don't want to date me. Well, fuck all these women, I'm gonna just be a whore. Or she cheated on me. Like, how is it one woman's like no means you're just gonna fuck over everybody else? And, well, I'm just gonna get it back and be like, fuck these other.
I don't see. This is the thing, and this might be. I don't want to say because of social media, but because we live in an era now where social media is so like prevalent. Yeah. Like, even if you just have one bad experience with one woman, but like after the bad experience with one woman, you get on social media and you see all of the women who look like women that you want, wanting this same similar thing, which is like money or nice things or niggas with status or niggas who dress like this or look like this.
That's your fault. Broaden your horizons.
But what you mean?
You talking about if you get on social media and see all the women that look like the one person you want, then that's your fault. You need to look at other people.
No. What I'm saying is whoever you don't necessarily have to only be attracted to one type of girl who looks one type of way.
You just see women in general.
I'm just saying, women in general who are attracted to you and they might look different, but the one common denominator that they have is, it seems like all these bitches are talking about broke niggas ain't shit. Or broke niggas this.
I really need to see your Instagram feed because I'm asking. I just want to see it.
But it's not even, but you know how the algorithm be. If you go to the Explore page, you don't follow none of them people.
Yeah.
And even the people that you do, I could actually pull up my phone right now and I could show you the bad bitches on my timeline. I could show you the regular ones, the big ones, the whatever kind of bitches that you think exist. I can show you. I follow all of them. ugly ones, smart ones, dumb ones, pretty ones, whores, celibate ones, all that.
Equal opportunists.
Right? All of them like money, though. You know what I'm saying? Or all of them like the idea of...
I think it's security. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Security.
That's a safer word, yeah.
Yeah. So I would say like, you know, like the normal woman likes security. Like she doesn't need she don't need the Bentley with the bells and the whistles, right? But you got the ones, you know what I'm saying? Like for real. Like I'm gonna keep it 1,000. It's always the baddies, yo. It's always the baddies, yo. They want designer this. They want foreign that. You know what I'm saying? And so as a dude who trying to, you know what I mean, accommodate to that type of woman, like you gonna run up a coin. You know what I'm saying?
How does that make you feel? Because you look like you got... what triggers you right there?
And then let me say this real quick too. Let me just say this real quick. Let me just start this. Wow. Yo, some girls really look good in foreigns too. Like, yo, some girls, like for real, come on, the exotic women.
I think women look better in foreign cars than men do.
Well,
I think they do, honestly. I'm sorry. I'm not saying that men don't look good in them, but women, like, it just makes it look more luxurious. Like, a bad bitch hop out of a rape, like,
yeah,
it looks better. I'd rather see a girl hop out of her nice ass outfit, her heels, and her hair laid, and a nigga like, alright, he cute, but like, what? I would rather see a female in a foreign. I'm just saying.
Alright.
No,
the representation matters. Is that's what?
Nah, I live for a bad bitch doing well, you know.
On her own or just
on her own.
They fun to look at though. I ain't even gonna hold you, but whatever, yeah.
but why did it make you find it official like that?
Nah, because he's like, it just seemed like all the baddies want X, Y, and Z, or what did you say? It was something about bad women and
basically like exotic cars go with exotic women. You know what I'm saying? It really kind of do.
Something he said.
Really, they kind of complement each other for real. But
oh no, you said all the bad women love men with money.
But yeah, for sure.
And I said
come on,
my chop liver. It's like the regular girls don't like niggas with money.
Do y'all remember when Rick Ross was with Lyric Galore? Come on, bro. Come on. That's case in point right there, yo. Like, come on, yo.
What's wrong with Rick?
Keep it 1,000 now.
Listen, people like Rick Ross, he loves too.
Okay.
I was like, I can't say exactly what's in my head right now.
That's my nigga though. If I ever get back to you, that's my nigga for real. I fuck with Rick Ross.
I mean, but it's the culture though. It's honestly the culture, and it's women didn't create this culture. Men created this culture. Like men set the standard for what they thought was beautiful, and so then now every woman went to go create this prototype of what men said is beautiful. Then it's like, well, all these men are getting money and they like fuck us, they gonna fuck us over anyway. So then the women had to match their energy, and so now it's a lot of women with masculine energy. So it's like, well, fuck that nigga. If you ain't got a bag, don't fuck with me. Y'all created that. We didn't create that.
There is a creator, but then I feel like the enabler is equally as responsible. You know what I'm saying? Because if we're gonna be fair, like the men that exist today, we didn't create it, and the women who were the first wave of enablers, that's not like all them niggas is old now. You know what I'm saying? So the way that I look at stuff like that is like, I don't feel like I created none of this shit.
Yeah. And
I live the way that I live, but it feels like I have to go out in the world and try to jump over these hurdles that men generations before me created, but women are still kind of like enabling it today. Not saying that men aren't also enabling it, but that's just how I feel on an individual level. Like everybody feels like they're different and that they're like trying to find somebody who's as different as them, but it seems like everybody out here is the same, but it's weird and it's ironic because like every single person feels like that. Or whatever. And I don't know how to break that chain, but I want the conversation to be like, how should we handle the trauma differently? How should we cope with it? Or what other ways or what other avenues should we be using as, I guess, as black men to deal with our trauma besides just getting the money? Because money will get you certain things, but it's not gonna get you. It's just one facet in your life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can have a whole bunch of fucking money, but then every other part of you is fucked up. Yeah. But the crazy thing is, if every other part of you is solid, but you don't have no money, you still can't get no bitches.
Yeah, facts.
And I think that's the one. But you can just have the money and not have nothing else, and you can get all the women. And I think that's what has a lot of men's minds warped.
But it also doesn't last that long either, just because you got money. Because at some point, a woman is going to get to a point where it's like, all right, like there's nothing here. We need more substance. All right, well, he got money, so I'm cool. But at some point, that's going to wear off too. Like, all right, I done saved up enough money to leave this nigga and go somewhere else. Like, it's inevitable because it's, what are we talking about here? Great, you get money, but what else are we doing here?
But then again, but I feel like the guy with the money can always just
absolutely
go to the next.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But like,
I mean, he's healed though.
Well, no. Yeah.
But I honestly feel like, I'm going to say this because it's something that I knew that has helped me grow personally. But like, men really need to start getting in tune with who they really are. And cut off your social media for a week. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, because you're steady looking at these images all day. I mean, and that's everybody. You're constantly looking at, this is what beautiful is, and this is, he has money, and then this is where you should be traveling, and then all you're doing is sitting around looking like, damn, can't go here, can't go there, can't afford this, can't take her out. And it's just like, you have to get back to the point of like, who am I? Before social media was a thing, before you became obsessed with social media, like, who am I? What is important to me? What do I value? Because Instagram will at some point die. And we'll move on to something else. Like right now, the wave is Clubhouse, and it's not visual. There is no liking. There is no comments. There is no looking at stuff. It's literally just conversation. And I think we have to get back to a point where we're just, who are we as individuals? Like, you have to. And then I meditate and I use crystals, but that's a whole other thing. But like meditating and really getting into who you really are, like you have to. Like you have to start trying new things because the same way is not gonna work. You're gonna continue down the same path of, well, I don't have it, or let me just go get a bag and fuck bitches and move on to the next.
What was a way besides trying to get money that you coped with some pain?
Going to the gym. Yeah.
Anything else?
I mean, I meditate, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really heavy into my prayer life, you know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, definitely that too, you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand it's a lot of things that I can't deal with on the physical level myself, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's only but so much that I can do. But fortunately, you know what I'm saying, I submit myself to a higher power, you know what I'm saying? So, through my personal Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just give everything to him, you know what I'm saying? And so, if it's something that's just, like, too heavy on my heart, bro, you know what I mean? Something that I can't deal with and muscle myself, like, from a financial perspective or even from a physical perspective, then I definitely go inside, you know what I'm saying, from a spiritual spot, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
When you talking about your traumas, are we talking just relationship-wise? Are we talking, death? Are we talking, like, what exactly are we talking about?
I don't think that traumas are just like relationships. And I feel like a lot of people took that and wrote and like ran with it when I said it, right? But, like I said, a traumatic event can be a woman that you really have like an eye for. Like you've been watching her for a minute, you damn near develop some emotions, you know what I'm saying, without even getting to know her. And she rejecting you. That could be a traumatic experience, you know what I'm saying, for us as dudes, because women don't really experience that, right? But whatever.
I have experienced rejection.
So
what you like the nigga pictures twice and he ain't DM you?
No, I've had like a dude I really wanted to talk to just not be with it, and fuck it, bye.
Did he say ew?
Yeah.
I know they never said ew to y'all.
Did he say, go get some paper? What did he say?
He said, get your titties up. Get some ass or something. Come back.
Like
that would be like the equivalent.
Niggas just be like, I'm not looking for a relationship.
It ain't no.
Yes, it is. That's a way for men to get out of fucking with a girl they don't really want to fuck with.
What if they really want to be in a relationship?
Maybe he was trying to protect you. For real.
Semantics.
Nah, for real. I mean, it's
perspective. Protect me from what?
From himself, yeah. He could have been in a traumatic place. You know what I'm saying? He could have been like, hey, I don't know. He could have just futured your ass out and just dogged you for real. But I don't know. When I say futured you,
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to cry.
I fuck with Future too, but go ahead.
Yo.
Shut up, Jackson. I really have dealt with like a guy, or a couple guys. They don't be responsive, and that's fine. Like whatever.
How do you feel like women deal with trauma though?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Like, do you because I feel like the money thing is like unisex. Honestly, because like when you see women get hurt, like they be like, I'm out the.
Oh, we cut our hair. We get fine. We go to the gym.
Yeah.
We start losing weight, and we be with our girls. Like I think like I can't speak for all women, but I can say like my circle, my tribe. We talk like girl, let me tell you whatever, and we vent, we get it out. But I definitely think like women use money as a way to be like, fuck this nigga. Like, I mean, even me. Like, I had a situation where a dude I was talking to, he's a millionaire now at this point. But when I stopped dealing with him, because he was a fuckboy, but like, I was like, fuck that. He think I need him. And not that I ever asked him for anything, but it was like, for me, like, nah, like, you about to wash this level up. Just because, like, you hurt me, and you think that you can control a situation with money, but joke's on you, get my own money. Right. So I think money is kind of men and women. Everybody does that. So, but definitely going to the gym, losing weight, and I'm about to post this picture. I'm about to go to the beach with my girls, and I'm about to post a picture in my swimsuit. Like anything, like we petty. Women are petty though. So I feel like we use more petty tactics to be like, yeah, nigga, you fucked up.
Fast.
Or not even that. Like I feel like childhood trauma. Like people forget. Like when you are a kid, like that's some deep shit. Like the stuff that we go through as kids really has affected us as adults and how we function in the world.
Facts.
So I feel like that's the part that people have to start like digging within to figure out like, okay, why am I this way? Why do I deal with this? And then looking at your parents and like not looking at them as your mom and dad, but like, no, these are two individual humans that had their own trauma, that didn't know how to process their own shit. So that trauma shit is so deep. It goes so deep.
Now that you mentioned that, that's a great point because not every, but a lot of black people did grow up not having much, right? And I think like the general tone when you don't have much is that you think that if I did have more, that would solve all of my problems. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you kind of, you know how you kind of like, you believe something until you actually reach that point and then you find out it's not what you thought it would be. Yeah. I kind of think that that's what like the chase to be rich is about. Because if you've never had an excessive amount of money like that, you think that it would like solve all of your shit. You think that you stressing out because, oh man, how I'm gonna pay rent, or oh man, like how I'm gonna pay these bills, or damn, bills just never stop coming.
But can I chime on that though?
Yeah.
So I think it's two sides to that coin because, like, not from the perspective of just being fiscally inclinated, but also like it gives you the opportunity to have like options. You know what I'm saying? Like I was in this traumatic environment. I was in this toxic environment. If I get enough money, you know what I'm saying? Like what she was saying earlier, like she said, like I done saved enough paper, I could get away from this dude now, right? So if I'm in this toxic environment, like I can basically buy my way out now. You know what I'm saying? I can start, and when I say it's two sides to that coin, because I think getting money from a traumatic perspective is a positive way of combating it. But also, you know what I'm saying, like you have people who have like severe childhood traumas who stay within those traumas, you know what I'm saying? Who like deep in that wound. You know what I'm saying? They deal with it by drinking. They deal with it by popping pills and smoking, and you know what I'm saying? And it actually spirals down worse than what it was initially. You know what I'm saying? So I think, like I said, with it being two sides to the coin, it's like, yeah, getting money can be a cliche thing, right? And some of us, like as black men, like we'll put ourselves in environments, you know what I'm saying? Like we idolize like Jay-Z's and Meek Mills, right? Because they seem like superheroes because they really came from the trenches, right? But you send a nigga who ain't really about that, he go out in that situation, he get his head blown off, or he get 100 years or something, you know what I'm saying? And it's a totally different narrative, you know what I mean? So I think if that is your way, like trying to run up a bag, just make sure you do it in a safe way, one, like a legal way, but also do it in a way that's gonna like make you a better person, because it's not just about like the end result, you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that from the perspective of like having some money myself, right? It's not just about like the end result, it's the person that you become, you know what I'm saying, during that journey, during that process, because you learn so much about yourself. Like your self-awareness really grows, you know what I'm saying? Like, dang, like at one point, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this was so scary to me. Like, this was like a foreign land. Now it's like, dang, I done accomplished this. I done met this person. You know what I'm saying? I done turned this person on. You know what I'm saying? That gives you self-confidence to like, to think. I understand why Jay-Z is a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? That nigga came from the projects and stacked up an M. You know what I'm saying? And dodged the feds. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure when that nigga really got out, he dropped Dame and all them. And you see where they at. You know what I'm saying? But that nigga really took off with his whole.
Still doing financially well.
Well, yeah, but you know,
not Jay's status, but he's still.
But I'm saying, I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying they definitely on J level. But I'm sure like all of those experiences compounded his confidence like none other. And then on top of that, he got Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, nigga, you know, I ain't even supposed to be. I ain't even supposed to halfway be here. You know what I'm saying?
Why is it like the trophy though?
Come
like,
on.
Why is it like the?
Is that like? Because I feel like as a man, I don't know if it's programming, I don't know if it's conditioning, but it's something about having like a really dope woman like on your arm, in your corner, in your life, who really truly fucks with you. Like, I can't really put words to it, but it's just like you feel like that's an accomplishment in itself.
Yeah.
Maybe because you feel like low key, you really don't even, you surprised at yourself, like, damn, like, how did I even...
Exactly.
Yeah,
I just said that, yo.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think, too, let me not let the men off the hook, too, because now that you mentioned that, a lot of men in the culture are enablers, too.
Yeah.
In the sense of maybe only showing us a couple of ways to get out. Mm-hmm. Like, maybe only showing us that money is the only way to conquer the things that were traumatizing to you, as opposed to, you know, I'm gonna get out by getting the most amount of education or knowledge that I can get.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get out by going against the grain and going to see some really good doctors, or I'm gonna get like just other ways of getting out besides financial. You know what I'm saying? Because like you were saying, one thing that money also does, it what's the word I'm looking for? It multiplies the monsters that are within you already. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're a person with horrible character and no morals and no values, money's just gonna make that worse. Mm-hmm. But if you're a person with great character and amazing core values, money's gonna multiply that as well. It's gonna put you on a platform to now where people actually can see how good of a person you really are. But a lot of the times with black men, we don't see many avenues to like escape a lot of the bad environments. Yeah. It's either like it really is just money. Yeah. Now that I'm like really, now that we're talking about
go play sports to make money. Yeah. Go play, be an entertainer to make money so that you can get out of the hood. Like there was nothing else ever presented to black people outside of like you got to do something to make money because that's the only way you can get out of the hood. Yeah. Like Or, go to college to get a good job to make money without realizing, like, no, actually, everybody was in debt. Go get a trade and make money.
Because all of the, like, school, a trade, a job, all of those things theoretically can have somebody cherry pick you out of a horrible environment and put you in a way more stable environment. Just getting great grades and getting a scholarship. If you live in Marcy Projects, you can fucking go to fucking UCLA if you fucking are smart enough to do so. Like, it's not just drugs or sports that's gonna get you there. But I don't think maybe enough of us don't really see that representation.
Yeah, but I think the key thing that y'all left out was like being emotional, like being vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean it from the perspective of like lashing out or going around just like crying about whatever, right? But just articulating your emotions to the point where not only can people understand you, but they can feel you too. You know what I'm saying? Because not everybody has money, you know what I'm saying? But everybody has feelings, you know what I'm saying? That's the common language between all humans, you know what I'm saying? Like, we all know what it feel like to be sad. So if you, and I'm saying like us as black men, because we're not taught to like express ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're really just taught to like bottle it up, suck it up, and be a man, you know what I'm saying? You learn that shit early, you know what I'm saying? Suck it up and be a man. But I feel like, okay, even, I'm going to use Drake as an example, right? Because, like, when Drake, for real, and I said, because y'all really fuck with Drake, right? I love, yeah, that's my nigga, bro. For real. I can't even, that's my nigga. But look, like, when Drake first dropped, and he was getting, like, hella slack from DMX and shit, like, two extremes, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got rough-ass DMX barking this shit, right? And then you got, I wouldn't say Drake is like, he ain't soft, you know what I'm saying? He ain't no pussy by far, you know what I'm saying? I don't know him personally, but come on, bro. You from Philly, bro.
I just think he's a little corny, that's all.
You think?
Why? Because he's in touch with his emotions?
No.
I think he doesn't.
You see what I here talking about? But I think the only knock I have against Drake is, I think if you line up, I don't think he would be cool if he weren't a rapper. That's all I'm saying.
A lot of people wouldn't be cool if they weren't rappers. Most rappers would not be cool if they weren't rappers.
What I'm saying.
Do you know Plies' real name? Do you know Plies' real name?
No, but I know it's Plies. I actually didn't like Plies' music, but when he's not doing this fucking cartoonery shit, I like Plies though.
Nah, if he wasn't a rapper, he would be such a cornball. His real name is Algernon, yo.
He's brilliant. That man is very, very intelligent. He's very intelligent.
Well, that nigga named Algernon. He better be intelligent.
What's wrong with his name?
Algernon? Come on. Algernon. Imagine that. That's almost calling a nigga algae. Like,
a guy tried to talk to me. His name is Gregory, and I was like, "Wow,
Gregory?
your mom did that."
Gregory? I mean, that's not bad though. Gregory?
That's like 3
Craigie?
names in one.
Gregory, bro.
Craigie?
Like, whose name was Gregory and whose name was Gregory family? Okay, tell y'all.
She ain't know who the baby daddy was. But go ahead. But
that's funny.
Insert.
But nah, getting back though, I feel like the DMX and Drake situation, like DMX was really on Drake's ass behind singing and shit, but Drake does a really good job with articulating his feelings to the point where everybody knows exactly what he's talking about because we all experienced that before. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if we just took enough time to just sit down, feel our feelings, feel our emotions, jot them down, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like write it down so that you can like visually see like what it is that you feel and read it out to yourself so that you're able to like articulate it and then go and express it to whoever or to whatever caused you such emotion. We would be a lot better, you know what I'm saying? Because regardless of what the situation is, yo, you got to have money. I don't care who you, nigga, you a human? Yeah. You living on earth, yo, you got to have some type of coin, yo. You know what I'm saying? There's a rate of exchange for everything. But like I said, there's that one language that we all speak as humans, and it's emotion. You know what I'm saying? And if we just had like an open flow of communication, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we could really alleviate a lot of problems, yo. A ton of problems.
What I can say though is like women have to do a better job of allowing men, especially black men, to be emotional.
That's a fact.
Because there's a lot of times where we'll be like, I don't want to date that nigga, he too emotional, he always crying and shit. Like every time I'm doing something, he talk about his feelings. Like, so I feel like women also have to do better at allowing men to be men and be vulnerable with them. And I think that's something that we just I don't want to say we, because I don't feel like I'm in that category, but women in general have to do better at that.
When you say letting men, you said women have to allow men to be men. I think women have to allow men to be human. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because humans have feelings. You know what I'm saying? It's the men narrative. It's that you're a man. You're not supposed to be emotional.
Yeah.
Like, no, boy. I just caught you sucking this nigga dick on camera. Like, what are you talking about? My feelings are hurt. What are you talking about? No cap. So yeah.
Is that traumatizing?
What?
Is it traumatizing? Or is it hold on, let me finish.
Alright.
Or is it crushing to your ego?
Nigga, that's
Both.
all trauma.
Both.
Getting your ego
Both.
shot down is
And that nigga dick better not be better. Boy, pause. I couldn't even get it out.
Yo.
You was enjoying that shit?
That's funny.
I mean, if she was doing it,
You was enjoying that shit?
I hope they're not doing it like, oh my god, I really don't want to be sucking your dick and cheating.
But that,
enjoy it.
that's another layer that you peel back, because that makes me think, where is it? It starts way before we get to being men or women. It starts as to how we're parented.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the times, like, culturally, in our culture, like, you were saying, like, we don't have conversations with our parents. Our parents say something and we do it.
That's it, yeah.
Period, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
especially as this culture.
In a lot of households, it's basically just do what I say and don't talk back. But how does somebody who has lived like that from birth to high school and then expected to flip a switch and know how to effectively communicate,
Right.
to know how to actually talk back, but in conversational form?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I think it kind of starts with how you parent, because if I'm growing, like, you really coaching me on how to not know how to talk to people, how to not know how to share my feelings with people.
Yeah.
Because I've been doing that shit for 18 years. I've been trying, it's be like, yo, mom, dad, I've been trying to tell you how I feel for 18 fucking years.
Yeah.
You telling me to not talk back is basically saying, suppress your fucking feelings. Don't say shit. Just deal with the shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like, that wasn't my experience. But what I'm saying is, like, being a son and imagining, like, that's how your parents did, and then you go out in the world and, like, you know, in the dating world, like, you're not even programmed or conditioned to be able to express yourself. You don't even know how.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if you're a woman, that's all that you've been conditioned to do is.
Mm-mm.
You don't think so? Well,
personally, like, me and my mom have talked about this, like, extensively, so she already knows. But, like, growing up with my mom, there is no emotion. Why are you crying? We don't cry. Why are we talking about your feelings? Suck it up. Like, because that's what all she knew was, you suck it up, you move on. And so now as an adult, she's like, oh my God, you're just so mean. You don't have a heart. You're just, and I'm like, yo, my nigga, like, you told me not to cry.
Yeah.
And so now I'm like, fuck that nigga. You like, oh my God, you're going to be single forever. I'm like, but that's how I was conditioned.
So can I ask I guess a personal question though? Mm-hmm. Were you raised in a single parent household?
So no, but it was my stepdad. Like, he's my dad. Like, I was with him since I was 8. So not necessarily no.
Okay.
Yeah, but my dad was completely different.
Okay.
Like, if I wanted to show emotion, I could go to him, but at that time we just didn't have that type of relationship. And so I was just like, there's no crying in baseball. Like, you suck it up and you move on about your day. Like, if somebody's bothering you at school, beat their ass and move on. And if you don't beat their ass, don't come home.
Yeah.
And don't talk to me about it. Like, it's just, that's what it was. And so I don't think it's just men. I think it's just honestly case by case. It's not just men to get that though, for sure. My mom, even now, my mom is like, oh my God, don't whine. Why are you whining? Why? And I'm like, man, like,
I can see that. I can see it now of not even really being not even singling out black men, right? Just black people seem to suffer from this same like affliction for real, because it's like, in a way, we're all in survival mode.
Yeah.
No, you know what I'm saying? My homie, when I was in Houston, that's what the term my homie Mees used. Like, he was like, yo, like niggas been on survival mode since birth, because our parents been on it, they parents been on it, they parents been on it. So it's like, when you always on survival mode, like you only know how to teach survival mode.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you only know how to teach. Like one of the things my grandfather used to always tell me was, he was like, never let them see you sweat. And that can be a positive thing or a negative thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, on one hand, it could be like, always look like you're in control, always be cool, always be calm, don't ever let your emotions get the best of you. Mm-hmm. But then it could also be interpreted as like, don't ever even have any emotions. Yeah. Don't ever even have any feelings. You know what I'm saying? But then you a fucking robot. Like then you're not even
you're not even a human.
Yeah. So it's but it's like, what's crazy is like the way that I remember that, because that was one of the more profound things that I felt like he taught me. But now that I'm like kind of thinking of both sides of it, it's like I wonder which one he was actually really trying to teach me, just in terms of like, you know, knowing just the black struggle. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of fascinating but sad at the same time that we all kind of have like that similar experience of having to be excellent, but then also having to also seem as if nothing, like part of the excellence is having no chink in the armor. And that's impossible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
You said that,
That's impossible. Yeah. Like, so it's like,
we all have to now reprogram.
Yeah.
We all have to reprogram. And I think that's one of the hardest things to do, because if we all learned survive, that's what we're going to keep doing, surviving. And then people are still having kids every day. And some people aren't lucky enough to get money and get out the hood. And so it's going to continue to snowball until, you know, I feel like every celebrity, I always say this, like if you came from the hood, even if you didn't come from the hood, like part of your money should go back into those communities. Like, because I think it was 21 Savage that partnered with somebody here in Atlanta to put Wi-Fi in every student's home because they didn't have it. But it's like stuff like that, like we have to start reaching back, because it's like you get money, you're like, okay, I gotta keep this money, I got to hoard all of this money because we made it. Yeah. And my kids good, my kids are good, my kids like what Beyonce say, like my babies are good. Yeah. Okay, but what about all these other babies who aren't good? You know what I mean? And it's not to say that they owe us anything, but you kind of do. Number one, like, we're the reason why you are where you are, because without us purchasing your music or watching you play a sport or buying a hoodie, you wouldn't be there. You know what I mean? And so it's like, why not give back and put stuff in place like therapy? It was somebody who did therapy for a community. I can't remember who did that, but like giving them an outlet, because we have to start teaching them better ways. Like then, okay, well, money is the only way to alleviate trauma or get out of your situation. Although, like, yes, money helps, but like I've never heard a more truer statement than more money, more problems. Like, and it didn't resonate until you became an adult. And it's like, yo, that's real life. Like, more money, more problems. And so, like, yeah, you can get this money and it might make you feel better for today, but like, what about next week when somebody say something that triggers some shit that happened to you when you was 15 and now you fucked up and you can't go to the studio and write or rap, or you can't go to work and make money? So it's like, what can we do to change that?
Have y'all ever conquered a piece of trauma that you've had?
Oh, for
that
sure.
You can remember?
Yeah, for sure.
Did it have to do with money, or did it have to do, like, how did you, like, when did you know that, you know what, I'm over that, I'm past that, I survived it, and it's no longer a trauma? Like, I don't know, does trauma even go away though, or is it just something that you know how to cope with without triggers? Or do you actually get to a point where it never even triggers you again, and that's how you know that you've healed?
Good question. Go ahead.
I think trauma is something that you'll always remember that experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll always remember the experience of falling off the bike, right? You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't hurt you the same way. You know what I'm saying? But you know how to ride the bike better now because you know if you don't, you're gonna bust your ass, and you know what that feel like. I think, yeah, I've definitely experienced some trauma situations that I've overcome, right? And it's not always been like I resolved it by like trying to run up some pape, but like I said earlier, like it's the person that you become, it's the self-awareness that you take on in that process, and that makes you feel like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like you're learning more about yourself, you know what I'm saying? You learn like what your have and have nots are, you know what I'm saying? And I think that has helped me to alleviate the trauma because it goes back to like, okay, like I'm riding a bike now, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, for real.
I like it.
Yeah, it just take me back to like, okay, like I know like when this situation come, because you know what I'm saying, life will teach you the same shit over if you don't learn from it. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, like I tweeted this shit not too long ago, but I said history will predict the future if you don't learn from it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, like you got to have that time to sit down like yourself and self-reflect, like, okay, what happened here? Like even if you got like what works for me for self-reflection, like I can look back through like my phone on old pictures. I got like 20,000 screenshots, right? And I can look back through like old pictures.
You can catch a liar. Actually,
Nah. It ain't even that. It's just like a lot of content. But I can remember like what I was thinking. You know what I'm saying? That I can remember what I was thinking when I screenshotted something. I can remember like how I was or like where I was at that point in time mentally. You know what I'm saying? And just think about the process moving forward. You know what I'm saying? That helps me with my self-reflection. Or even listening to older songs, you know what I'm saying? Because I can think about how I was moving in 2016 and so on and so forth and then whatever, right? But I think conquering any type of trauma, you have to sit down and just get to the root cause, you know what I'm saying? And nobody's going to do that for you but you, you know what I'm saying? Nobody can do that for you but you.
I know several people who are clearly have issues. They clearly have issues, they have triggers, they have all of this shit, but they never want to like face it head on, because you had said something about, you know, just kind of like facing your shit like head on and like dealing with it. Is there any other way to deal with your shit besides actually being able to talk about it openly and freely? And like, because I feel like I've been through some traumatic experiences, not near death or nothing like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've been through some things that have hurt me. You know what I'm saying? Been through some things that I felt pain from, that I've cried because of. And I feel like I'm not afraid to talk about none of that shit. And the more that I have talked about it, or the more open that I've been about it, I feel like that's the way that I heal from shit. But sometimes I get feedback that people think that I haven't gotten over it because I talk about certain things so openly or so frequently or something like that. So I guess my question probably was like, how do y'all see that? Is it, like when do you know? Like when do you think that you can point out a trigger on someone else and determine on whether or not they've healed from it because they're comfortable talking about it, or they haven't healed from it because they're always talking about it? Because it can really be the same, because it's the same thing as like how you perceive it though, on somebody else.
I think it depends on how you're talking about it. Yeah. You know, like what are the adjectives that you're using? You know, like I think it just boils down to like, because if you're talking about it and you can clearly see that there's still frustration within it versus like, okay, I'm just talking about it in general. Like I can say, like for me, example. So like 2016, like 2016, I lost like everything. Like I didn't have a job, I didn't have a car, like I didn't have nowhere to live, lost everything, right? And so for me now, like moving past that, because for me that was traumatizing. I've never lost a job, let alone a place to live, let alone I'm like, what? I'm walking? What do you mean I'm walking? What do you mean take the train? What is the train? Uber? No. But for me now, like, so I'm I'm able to talk about it. It doesn't bother me. I don't get upset. But then if someone comes to me with a similar problem, I'm able to say, no, like, look, this is what I did to get myself out of this situation. Because I had the option to go live in my grandma's house for free or go live with my dad in Alabama. But I'm like, nah, if I do that, then I'm going to be enabled and I'm not going to actually survive this moment. Right? And so for me now, I can say, like, these are the steps that I took. This is what I did. This is how I got from this situation. So I think it just depends on how you're speaking about the situation. Because, like, there could be, like, for instance, like, if you're talking about, let's say, a breakup, for instance. But you can clearly tell that the person's not over them just by how they speak about that person.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think it's just kind of how you word it. And, I mean, you know.
Yeah,
that's just my thing.
I think also it depends on like the reaction that you get from that person. You know what I'm saying? Like if you just kind of like bring it up in conversation and it's almost like a knee-jerk reaction from them, you know, it's like you stepping on some toes. It's a trigger.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then like from the perspective Court said, you like your hardships, you know what I'm saying? Like your trauma can help navigate somebody through a situation similar to yours in a quicker fashion, you know what I'm saying? Because you may see yourself in them and they be thinking like they're about to make the same mistake you did, but you be like, nah, like you just give them some free game, you know what I'm saying? And you help them to dodge a bullet. But I think when it comes to people who are just like, oh, I don't want to talk about it, you allow them to talk about it, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to push that boundary, you know what I'm saying? Because them saying they don't want to talk about it is that boundary itself, you know what I'm saying? And so you just kind of let them freely talk about it. And then when they do give you the floor to speak on it, you speak intentionally but briefly, you know what I'm saying? Because you want to get like a clear, concise point across to them about that situation. You don't want to lecture them and give them too much information to where they just like lose the whole, you know what I'm saying? Where they lose whatever they could take from it. You just be clear and concise with do or do not, have or have not, you know what I'm saying? But them saying they don't want to talk about it is that boundary that you just don't push it. You know what I'm saying?
Have y'all ever dealt with somebody with trauma like that?
Yeah.
Like how long do you give it? Like because since we kind of in that conversation, like I've dealt with people who they always had that wall up.
Yeah.
I think what I'm saying, and it's not like I'm trying to break your wall down, but I also want to let you know that I'm here once you lit that wall down.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not trying to get that. I'm not trying to wait here forever for you to let that wall down because number one, like you're not helping yourself, and number two, like now you fucking with my peace of mind because whatever it is that is traumatic to you, it's affecting how you treat me now.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's such a touchy subject because like you said, you don't want to overstep somebody's boundaries, but at the same time, you don't want to like cause any like harm upon yourself by trying to deal with somebody who refuses to fucking handle or deal with the things that they've been through.
I don't think that's just like specific to a romantic relationship either. And I'm saying that because like as you're talking, I'm thinking about like a close friend of mine. Like he's a dude, but he's I guess like the only child, right? Because when I say only child, he's the only boy child, right? He doesn't have a positive relationship with his father, so he doesn't have any type of positive masculinity in his life at all. You know what I'm saying? And so like all he knows is his mom and his sisters. And so when he comes to me and I have like that opposite, like I'm the oldest, but I also have my father who had his father, right? And while they were great men. They are great. Well, my grandparents' great-grandfather, he's gone. Grandfather's gone. But my dad is a great dude, right? But they all have they're human, you know what I'm saying? They all have their setbacks, right?
Yeah.
He's not perfect, but he's an overall great dude, right? So when I try to give my perspective from being a great grand and learning from him, you know what I'm saying, the moments that I did have, or my grandfather, you know, my dad, like when I try to pass on like my masculine virtues or my masculine principles to him, you know what I'm saying, if he says like he doesn't want to talk about it, like I'll respect that boundary, but I also like I'll never let a man disrespect me, because as men, like, we have that open line of communication where it's like, bruh, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Jack, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, if we're not tailoring it specifically to romantic relationships, it's like you don't have like a set amount of time to where you can just kind of like be patient with this person. You know what I'm saying? Like, certain people you can kind of push the envelope, because to him, I am like a brother. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give it to you raw. Like, look, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's some fuck stick shit. Yeah, like you can be raw, and then you can give examples from your teachings. You know what I'm saying, to him, to make it make sense to him. You know what I'm saying? He could kind of reference that to whoever he deals with on the masculine level, and he could kind of, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
What about you? In that situation of, I guess, dealing with someone else who's going through some shit, or like how does that wear on you?
Okay, so I'm an empath, so it's hard
Same.
for me. Yeah, it's really hard.
Really hard.
Having friends or a relationship when people are going through something, because I internalize their energy. I take all of that, and so like I've had to get to a point where I'm like, nah, I can't really talk about this right now because it's too heavy for me to take. Yeah. But at the same time, like, I'm also that no nonsense friend. My friends know, like, I get that from my mom, that no emotional stuff. So it's like, it's a weird position to be so emotional and can't be emotional. It's weird. Mm-hmm. But like, my friends know I'm very like, look, what's the issue? What's the problem? Let's figure out how to solve the problem. But don't come to me if you don't really want help. But they also know that I'm always there. I'm always going to be the ear. I'm always going to support whatever it is that you need from me. But I'm also going to tell you, like, real raw, like, hey, you fucking up, or you not fucking up, or how can I help you in this situation, or that's probably not the best idea for you to do that. Like, I don't know. So I'm just very, like, I'll talk to you. You want to go sit at the park? Let's go meditate. Let's go. You want to go pray? Let's go do that. You want to go, like, so that's kind of how I function with my friends and family, but I still have to, it's hard for me because I have to protect my energy too, because I'm all day downloading everybody's energy, and this, by the end of the day, it's draining, and I'm just like, I can't deal with you and your emotions right now, and I'm trying to process my own day, so it's kind of hard.
How are you with it personally though? Because like, if you're saying you're the way that, you know, you were brought up by your mom and everything, to kind of like just, you know, no whining and no crying and shit like that. How do you, are you the like, I don't want to talk about it person, or like, how do you handle those situations?
I definitely was, I don't want to talk about it person for a long time. Like, I don't want to talk about it. It is what it is. Shit happened, move on. Like, I'll just push it here and keep going on about my day. But now, because I'm older, and I've done work, literally every day I do work for myself to be a better person and to grow. So like, now I could be sitting at home like, you know what? I feel like I want to cry right now. Don't know what I want to cry about. So I'm going to sit here and cry. I'm going to sit here and pray. I'm going to meditate. And then whatever, after the moment, I'm like, okay, now whatever it was that was bothering me, it's out. Because like I don't deal with it in real time. Mm. So once it's hit me, like, okay, I have to release whatever this was. I don't know what it was, but I'm going to release it. Let it go. I let it have its moment and move on. But again, it took me a long time to even get to that point. So like, if my friends ask me now, they like, you'll have to ask me, like, are you okay? Because I'm not just going to be like, yo, so so-and-so died. You know, like, I'm just not that person. But yeah, I just sit with myself and it works for me.
Because you were talking about, like, friends. What about, like, romantically, like, with men? Like, how do you... What's your experience with trying to get men to open up? Yeah, open up.
Honestly, like, any guy that I've dated, seriously, has been able to be open with me about anything, any traumas that they've had. Honestly, because I'm one of those people, like, this is a safe place. I don't ever want anybody to feel like I'm judging them or feel like you can't say something. I'm always the sounding board, whether it's for an idea or whether it's for, I don't know, anything that is on your mind. Like, so I've just always been an open book. Like, whatever you need, like, I'm here. Like, don't, like, even like during the whole the Black Lives Matter thing over the summer. Like I think I hit you in a like every black man, like you good, you straight, you need to talk. Like
what's funny is I used to just randomly check on like black people, like but when that shit was going on,
it was heavy. It was heavy.
Yeah, and I think that's interesting because like those are only traumas that within the culture we would know that I need to just check somebody. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like cause like while all that shit was like, granted I wasn't working.
I was though.
But like, I just saw I spoke to so many people who were still like, going into the office and had to deal with.
How was your weekend? Like, a black man was killed. What do you mean?
Yeah, and it's like, that's not even that's one of those things that's only specific to black people.
Yeah.
Or people of color, I should say. More specifically, black and brown.
Black people.
Yeah. But and that's just like another trauma just on top of just regular as adulthood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's a fucking trauma that you don't even really gotta, like, you don't have to be the recipient of being shot, of being brutalized, of being harassed. You don't necessarily have to be there. But you still feel it.
So you don't even have to know that person.
Yeah, because it just because you know that your skin looks the way that it looks like. That's a cloud that don't never leave you.
You know what's crazy though? Literally, like there are so many moments now. I will literally lay in my bed and I will just wonder, like, damn, the police really could just run up in my shit right now and kill me.
That shit crazy. I'm about to say, how do you feel when the police get behind you?
Oh,
or if you've ever experienced that?
Well,
tend to it.
What's funny is I've never even thought that I kind of am a little safer now that I sold my car like 5 years ago.
Okay.
So.
Oh, word? Yeah. You feel safer now that you sold your car?
Yeah, because I don't have to drive.
That's fucking crazy.
That's,
that's crazy.
Like, and it sounds like a joke.
That's crazy.
But like in reality, like because I don't drive, that's one less stressor that I have. Because as a nigga, like. When you see the light don't even gotta be flashing, my nigga.
But when you see 12,
when you just see it, you just like fucking like
nah, for real. Like you be on the highway, they be posted up.
Just look. I take my hats off if I got my hat on. I take my hat off, take my hood up, all that shit. Like.
But it's like we didn't realize that we all experienced that exact same thing until over the summer, and it was like, wait, you do that too? Like, so it's like it's universal. That trauma like is embedded in us that deep to where we don't even know one another, and it's like we're all doing the exact same thing. Like, how did you even know to do that? Like, I was doing that, but I didn't know you was doing. So,
bro, I told. This was a couple years ago, and it was where I live in Philly. I live on like the 3rd floor, so it's obviously, but it's the top floor, so it's like 2 people below me, and it was somebody on the 2nd floor that was doing some kind of criminal something. So the cops, I was just sitting in the crib, and I just hear like banging on my fucking door.
On your door.
On my door.
Damn.
And but I gotta go down steps to open my door. So at first when I hear it, like, I don't know if it's my door or the people on the 2nd floor, because they like, the doors is like this, you know what I'm saying? So then I hear some more banging. So I, you know how I mute everything in the crib, but I don't move. I'm like, and I hear that shit again, like, bum, 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 bum. And I'm like, yo, is that my fucking door? So then I hear it again, and now I'm up, and I'm walking down the steps, and I'm like, you're like, who is it? And they just like, police.
oh shit.
And I took like a second, I'm like, what the fuck? Because I know I ain't do shit, like, you know what I'm saying? But I also know that don't matter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I open the door, I open the door where it's like ajar. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I'm like, what's up, man? What's going on? Yeah, right? And it was the weirdest feeling. Because when I opened the door, they didn't push the door open, but the energy that they was giving off was like, open your door, nigga.
Yeah.
So I opened the door.
With the hard ER.
Yeah. So I opened it, and was one white cop and one black cop. That really didn't make me feel any.
It never
more,
makes you feel safe.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
It never makes
but I just want to say that just to for the detail of the story. I opened the door and I'm like, what's going on? And they was like, do you know the person who living on the second floor? And I was like, nah. They was like, do you know what he looks like? And I was like, honestly, like, I really don't ever see him. Like, we just all be in and out. I don't really know. And they was like, you mind if we show you a picture to see just if you can identify him or whatever?
Yeah, and then do that finally.
And I'm just like,
sure.
Okay. But they was like, again, like their energy was lit us in the house, nigga.
With the hard ER.
Nigga. So I honestly I feel embarrassed to say that like I lit them in the house without them even asking to enter the house. I don't really know what.
Yeah, you felt
because
uncomfortable.
Just whatever you gotta do what you need to do. Then
So
they
you
got
can
up
fucking
here.
leave,
Yeah.
And what's crazy is when I opened the door to like let them in, and I started walking back up the flight of stairs, I was like, it hit me that like I'm letting police in my house.
Yeah.
There's nobody. It's just me
It's
and
just
them.
you. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So as I'm walking up the steps, like I'm like,
let me hurry up and get
like,
back.
you know what I'm saying? So they get up there, and we standing in the kitchen. And even though I haven't done anything,
I'm trying to figure out why they need to come into your house to show you a picture that they could have shown you at the door.
I don't know. But we standing in the kitchen.
They thought that nigga was in there.
And even though I didn't do nothing,
I thought you was that nigga.
I was like,
for real.
I was like telling myself like, no sudden movements. Keep your hands where they can see them. Wow. Don't reach for. I didn't do it. I was chilling. Like I didn't do shit. You feel me? But like that's like the automatic protocol when you around the police.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? No matter if you did something or not. Yeah. So they asking me questions. They pull out the picture. They show me the joint. And I was like, nah, like I told her, like I don't know, and it's not even no snitching shit. I really don't know this nigga. I really ain't never seen the dude or whatever, right? And it's like I said, it's two cops, right? One of the black dude is the one showing me the picture. The white, I got a 2-bedroom.
He looking around.
The white nigga is looking around my house.
Yeah, that's how it always is, yo. They always come with two people, you know what I'm saying? And one is the front man, the other dude is the other. You know, he playing it back. He peeping your body language. He peeping the whole situation.
Yeah, so
you know what I'm saying?
And I'm like, I know how I look, right? I'm aware of how I look. You know what I'm saying? Kind of a big guy. I'm at the crib, so I probably don't got no sleeves on. So my fucking tattoos is out and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely not.
So like, I'm trying to. This is another like thing that ties into trauma, right? Like, because of how I look, I've learned how to, without really truly code switching, I've learned how to be non-threatening.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I haven't learned that.
Smiling, just a little bit more smiley. I mean, I smile a lot about always, but
in a situation like that, like why I don't have a reason to be smiling, so like you have to turn it on for.
But it's like just a little, just add a little bit more like bubbly to your personality a little bit. It's hard for me to explain it, but I just feel like I've learned how to.
So you go from like Jax with us to like Jackson, like yeah, bro.
No, it's not. It's not. Yeah.
You go from Jackson.
It's not even really a yeah, bro. But it's just kind of like no, you know what I mean. Your pitch.
Okay.
It ain't no like nah, like I don't know. It ain't not that. You feel me?
Nah, I'm about to say I don't. Nah, I'm me.
I definitely go switch.
But it's the funny part about it though is not. When I was in the moment, it wasn't something that I thought about. Like, all right, turn it on. It was like instinctual.
Yeah.
And
survival mode.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know, they checked their shit. I answered their questions. They left.
That's so wild.
I went back down the stairs. You know, closed the door, locked the door, and I walked back upstairs. And I just took a moment, and I was like, "Yo, they could have killed me in here."
Yeah.
And the funny part, which is not so funny, they could have. If they would have killed me, they would have. You could scroll up and down my time. They would have picked. They would have picked the Compton. When I dressed up like that, I was a nigga. Hey, what's up, cuz? Hey, blood. Like on some gangster shit, on some joke shit.
Yeah.
That's the shit that they would have picked up, flashing on CNN, on Fox, and I don't got no record, but they would have found something.
Yeah.
I got like suspended, or I told the teacher to suck my dick, something goofy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or maybe something off of this.
Yeah, the content.
Something off of it, like, and I would have just been another like criminal ass nigga that deserved to die.
Yeah.
And that wouldn't have been the truth at all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, and I took that moment and I was just like really shaking my head because like, yo, like, I was really like my life was like in their hands in that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether they knew it or not. It was really all just based on the fact I probably just got lucky because they wasn't like real dickheads.
Yeah.
But like that's the black cloud that black people walk around with every fucking day. You never just cause they not on my like that shit is nuts, man.
But then think about it from this perspective too, right? So you say you stay on the 3rd floor. Imagine if you stayed on the 30th floor though. You know what I'm saying? You feel like you would have assimilated the same way? Like, my rent might be $1,500 over here, but nigga, my rent $15,000 over here. You know what I'm saying? You think you would have assimilated the same way? And I say that to tie it back in, deal with trauma by trying to get rich. You know what I'm saying? You feel like you would
less threatening that
way.
Oh, I'm a outstanding member of this community and I have
pay my taxes, nigga. I'm 800 FICO, nigga. What you want to do?
But I don't think
you probably would have flexed, low key.
But sometimes them niggas find out real quick that don't matter either.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
It
dollar
like,
don't matter.
It like, and that kind of goes back into what we was talking about again, where you still might get the certain number or a certain status, but because all of these other things are like out of whack, at the end of the day, maybe that money really don't mean as much as you think it does.
Still nigga.
Still
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And I don't even know if that was a traumatic experience.
Nah, that would definitely constitute as a traumatic experience.
But
I think your past trauma.
I don't know if
that triggered the trauma that you had
Exactly.
previously, or just seeing it every day is like, oh my god, all the what ifs start flooding in, like, oh my god, this could happen, oh my god, I could have died.
Right.
So I think that is probably what you experienced, like the relief that nothing happened, but oh my god, the potential of this happening. Just like everybody who looked like me, I could have just that quick.
Just the awareness of, like you said, what if?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, that shit was. It was funny. How I kind of just told the story. Like I remember using that moment as like, oh shit. Let me set my camera up. Let me tell the story real quick, just to kind of see how people feel about it. And my mom watched everything that I put out. She watches this. She watches the no matter what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
She was like,
my mom does.
Hey, Jack's mom. Hey, Jack's mom.
And she, when I tell you, she was right on my fucking phone, like ASAP. She's like, where they at?
Yeah.
Did you give them? What did you tell them? What did they do? What are their badge numbers? I'm like, Mom, I don't know. They left. I'm alive. She's like, yeah, but they might come back and they might this and that. I was like,
but it's like that's
trauma. That's crazy.
It's layered.
Because you see, because all of the black men who are getting killed, all of the black women are getting killed. It's their families and it's their parents. Who like really going through the shit in the aftermath. And like I can't even imagine being a mom of one your only son, and you kind of think like the way that we grow up. You kind of think like the myth is like, well, as long as I get him to graduate high school, as long as I get him to go to college, as long as I can get him to 25, as long as I can get him to 30, then I did my job. But in reality, nigga, they killing people who in their 40s, 50s. Like it don't matter. Like you know what I'm saying. So I could understand how like her worry button don't never turn off.
Yeah, and they killing them on camera.
And it don't matter. Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah, man. That was it. That was a crazy. That was just crazy. And it was. I think the part that really fucked me up about it was nothing I could do.
Yeah.
There would have been nothing that I could have done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because you know how like when people post shit on the internet, oh, well, if he would have just resisted, or if he would have just done this, or if he would have if she would have just this, and
because even if your temperament was different when you went to the door, like, well, I don't know anything about that. What you need to come to my house for?
Yeah.
That's your right to tell them no.
Yeah.
But because it's like the possibility of what if, you know what? Sure, come on in.
Yeah, do whatever
you want to do in my residence.
Whatever you like, sir.
I don't care.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But that's a part of the trauma. It's like we have that trauma of the what if, or the trauma from seeing what could happen. And now here we are in this moment. And so it's like my rights that I know are my rights, I don't even use them. Yeah. Versus if this is a white man in his house and listen, I don't know that guy.
He talking all kind of crazy.
Yeah.
We talking all kind of
crazy. You read penal code, but like they're spitting the facts. We don't have that luxury.
Yeah.
Because spitting of facts can get you killed.
Yeah.
So trauma.
Yeah.
Trauma. It's wild.
I don't know, man. This was a dope conversation, man.
For sure.
As usual, as always, man. Before I do try to wrap it up, though, man, did y'all have anything left? Any last thoughts, stories, questions, or anything?
Comment, man. I'm just thankful to be here, man. I appreciate the opportunity, bro, for real. And nice to meet you too, Courtney, for real, yeah.
I appreciate you coming on, man. It
kind of, I ain't
gonna lie, like, it surprised me that, like, you hit me up and was just like, yo, like, I want to talk about that shit.
Yeah.
It kind of like, because I try to be as engaging as possible, like, with the people who, who, if we follow each other, or people who have, like, seen my stuff and leave comments and stuff like that. But Twitter is not, I don't got a lot of traffic on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? But whenever I'm posting something, I always try to, like, all right, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. And, like, I'll try to do that shit all in one thing so I don't forget or whatever. So it just kind of surprised me that it kind of, like, got back to you. You know what I'm saying? Since you the one who originally, like, tweeted the shit. Mm-hmm. And then just to know that it was like, oh shit, this nigga, like, actually, like, signed up, he actually fucked with the episode, he actually enjoyed it.
Yeah.
To the point now where he's like, yo, like, you know, if you ever in the space, like, let's sit down and actually talk about it.
Yeah.
I thought that was, like, super dope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that. I appreciate you for that, because we live in a time too where men don't really compliment men on stuff, even though that they might admire something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, I just want to commend you on being man enough to just even actually reach out to somebody else that you don't know, just to be like, yo, like, salute my G, like, you know what I'm saying? So thank you for that, man. Thank you for, you know what I'm saying, giving me your time, you know what I'm saying, to come on here and bless us with some good dialogue, man, because it definitely was.
For sure, I appreciate that, man. For sure.
And of course, continue doing good work.
Yeah.
You know, like, this is a testament to the work that you are doing. I know, like, I bust your balls a lot.
You do.
But you're doing good work. Like, I know sometimes it seems as like, is anybody even listening to this? Like, you know what I mean? But because content creation, you just never know, but you never know who's listening and who is going to get back to. So keep doing the work, because people are listening.
Yeah,
and it's good stuff.
Yeah, I'm about to say, you killing it for real, bro.
For real.
Yeah, man.
See, I gave you some flowers too. You
did. I said thank you. I'm saying thank you.
I gave you some flowers.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, anyway, man. But nah, thank you both for coming on, man, and giving us some more great discussions and conversations and things that people can, you know, they're gonna get their opinions, they're gonna agree, disagree, they might curse some of us out. I don't think we said nothing too controversial today, though.
Nah. It's all relatable, yo.
You know what I'm saying?
If you really live in a black experience, this is all relatable, yo.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to talk about sex today, so thank you both.
Totally
appreciate having to talk about sex today.
You know, sometimes I try to make a, family.
Because I'm like, I have brain too, guys. I don't have to talk about sex all the time. But
you got brain. Okay.
Make sure you guys go follow me on Instagram at Levette,
God.
LAVETTE _ Of course, go follow at Bars and Beyond. Well, Roku TV, streaming on the Producers Network. We have some really, really good content coming for 2021. Working on some really great things. I'm also working on another project, another NDA. So fingers crossed on that one too. So yeah. So go check me out on all of my socials, and I'll see you around.
Yeah. Follow me on social media. Like I said earlier, J __ Rhodes, RHODES. That's Twitter and Instagram. And yeah, for sure.
Alright, and y'all already know, man, Jackson 1616, JAXON 1616, creator and host of One Mic Stand. Atlanta, once again, every time I come back, it's always great, always creating some good content, good visuals, with even greater people, man. So thank y'all once again. Patreon. These are the Patreon niggas who seeing this right now, but even if y'all sending links to other niggas who ain't paid, look, sign up to the shit, man. Go to my page, sign up to the shit, link in the bio. You already know you're gonna get about, this is probably like the 90th piece of content that I put up. You'll have access to all of them, man. Support black businesses and all that. Help me eat some sandwiches. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to pay my rent, trying to get some food and all that, man.
Black bags matter, man. Black bags matter, man.
They don't have to give him some money. You better put that shit on first.
Hello, collab. Whatever, anyway. But go buy the merch too, though. Go buy the merch. It's comfy.
Yeah, man. So follow me, Jackson 1616. Follow One Mic Stand, the word one, _ Mike _ Stand _ and of course, if you want merch, Not Jax, which is NOT _ JX. Atlanta, Courtney, Jay, we out.
Yes, sir.